A knife like this kinda deserves a saya like this, right? Joe surprised me with 3 additional items in the package. 3? 3? Yeah, 3. Hello my fellow chef knives enthusiasts. In this video I'm going to show you some really nice sayas. As some of you know, I am the proud and happy and grateful owner of this Nigara Hamono Troll Killer 240mm Gyuto made out of Aogami No. 2 steel. This knife has not been my daily driver by a long shot, but I regularly bring this beauty to my private chef gigs. It never fails to leave my clients awestruck with its awesome looks. Even when people don't care at all about kitchen knives like I do, they do immediately recognize that this particular knife is not something you see every day. It's like having a conversation starter that cuts through the small talk. The 250 layers of Damascus steel are mesmerizing. That handle just pairs perfectly with the blade. No, it was not made of jade. It's some type of stabilized and burled wood. Yeah, altogether the handle and the blade surely are a showstopper. I once bought a standard saya for this knife, this wooden sheath to protect my blade during transport. It was not custom made to fit this knife, but it's close enough, nothing wrong with it. But it was just a universal and plain wooden saya, just like this saya. A friend of mine customized the saya for my Yukurosaki Hawao 240mm Gyuto, hands painting this beautiful depiction of a Chinese firebird, and it turned out really spectacular. What was once a generic universal saya now became a unique piece of art. That got me thinking, why not jazz up some of my other standard wooden sayas to match their knives in an artsy way? That's where Joe Francis from Mojo Studio Art enters the stage. He offered to craft a fully customized saya for me as a thank you for being one of his first online customers during his startup phase. I was actually the first guy to order one of his sayas online. This saya with the iconic image of Han Solo frozen in carbonite. If you were born in the 70s like me and grew up with the original Star Wars trilogy, you know what's up. Impressed by his work, I bought 2 more of his sayas. This one with the most appropriate depiction of Anthony Bourdain ever. And this one, obviously with a The Shining theme. Both of these are beautiful and their themes have a strong personal connection to me. So I could sense this Joe guy was the real deal, turning sayas into canvases for his knife artistry. Knives to some are mere tools, but to me, they are functional pieces of art. A saya could be a plain sheath, but it can also be a work of art in its own right. So I asked Joe to customize the saya for my Nigara Troll Killer, or Onigoroshi, as they call it in Japan. Troll Killer doesn't actually nail the translation that well. Demon Slayer would be more apt. In Japanese culture, Oni represents bad luck and violence, attracting destruction and chaos wherever they go. They are basically the equivalent of a bad omen. I sent Joe some inspiration in the form of depictions of these mischievous Japanese demons from ancient folklore and some links to a few books about the topic. So he hit the library and soaked up every bit of knowledge he could find like a sponge. Long story short, Joe didn't disappoint. He captured the essence of the Oni lore beautifully, using the color tones of that era. Look at the detail on this side of the saya. It has several layers with that mask on the bottom and all these things going on above the mask. You see the Oni head. Looks like it's about to bite off the head of the Onigoroshi. I feel like I'm looking at some old Japanese scroll with original depictions on it from that time period. I really dig the vibe on this side. And then there is a whole other side on this side. Look at that. This particular Oni sure looks like it's up to no good. But luckily there's a weapon which you can slay this Oni with right there. That weapon is called the Troll's Club. I suppose it is clear that we're not talking about a nightclub where trolls go for a good time and get faced, but a club, you know, for clubbing stuff. Not the baby seals! Anyway, this one is a mix of an old and modern design Troll's Club, and it definitely looks like it could do some serious damage. None of this actually has anything to do with the way I use my troll killer. Don't get it twisted, this is not a weapon of war. It's a tool that I use to create delicious dishes in the kitchen. But I do like that the name of this knife is now beautifully represented on the saya of this blade. Needless to say, I'm very grateful and happy with this unique, fully custom, one-of-a-kind saya. And let's be real, a knife like this kinda deserves a saya like this, right? Now the whole picture is complete, just look at that. As if getting this custom saya wasn't enough, Joe surprised me with 3 additional items in the package. Three? Yeah, 3. Among them there were 2 other sayas. Not custom sayas, but equally impressive. One of these sayas showcases characters from almost all, if not all, Quentin Tarantino movies. How cool is that? Being a fan of Quentin Tarantino movies myself, especially Kill Bill, this saya, it just resonates with me. And when people see me with one or more of my kick-ass Japanese knives, a lot of them usually and playfully say, "Ah, Hattori Hanzo," referring to the famous swordsmith from Kill Bill. Even though my kitchen knives are far from being real katanas or samurai swords, they do share a certain resemblance in craftsmanship and dedication to the craft. And what is also cool about this saya is it's magnetic. So you don't need a saya pin anymore. As some of you know, these saya pins are very easy to lose. They get lost all the time. So these magnetic sayas therefore are that particular problem solving and thus very convenient. This knife is not going anywhere when it is sitting in your knife roll or whatever other means you use for transporting your knives. It just sticks to the blade. The second saya he gifted me is also pretty badass. We stay in the samurai theme with this Ronin saya. For those who don't know, a Ronin is a wandering samurai warrior without a lord or master who traveled the country offering his services to anyone in need of his swords to hire. This one also is magnetic. Yeah, this one is also really cool. I love to take care of my knives, protect them and prevent them from getting damaged. Putting a blade guard or a saya on them during transport or in case you store your knives in a drawer or something, this is the least you could do for your knives. But how cool is it that the function of protection also becomes the function of telling stories, turning something generic and ordinary into something special like this. These sayas are now pieces of art. I really do love this type of stuff. So next to my amazing Onigoroshi, aka Troll Killer saya, I also received these 2 amazing magnetic sayas. But we're still not completely done here. To top it all off, Joe also gave me a knife. What? Yes, he gave me a knife. And it came in this box with his company name on it. That's pretty cool by itself. I hope perhaps one day I will see a box with Chef Knives Enthusiast on it. You never know, it would be pretty cool. This knife was probably made in China, so not a renowned Japanese blacksmith or anything. But the cool thing is, it has his Mojo Studio Art logo laser engraved on the blade. Thank you, Joe, for gifting me all this cool stuff. You really didn't have to do that, but I sure appreciate the love. And I will continue to show love and support to you as well. That being said, let me introduce you to Mojo Studio, the brainchild of Joe Francis, a chef and artist. His designs aren't just visual appealing, they're also practical, crafted with chefs and cooks in mind. From minimalist designs to full-blown artistic expressions, he offers a wide array of styles that will transform your knife covers into personal works of art. Your knives will never look the same again. If you are interested in adding some flair to your trusty knife, give Joe a shout. He has a studio gallery full of creative designs and a passion for turning your ideas into reality. His prices are competitive and you can bet your bottom dollar that he'll give your knife the royal treatment. Once your order is placed, Joe dives headfirst into your design, whether it's one of his standard styles or your unique request. He's got you and your knife covered. Like, literally. There you have it, my fellow chef knives enthusiasts. The story of how my Nigara Onigoroshi Troll Killer got its own bespoke saya, thanks to the talent of Joe Francis at Mojo Studio Art. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you have anything to say or ask, please leave a comment down below. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, folks.